everybody. Welcome to Cocktail Time. It is a Friday night. It is here at 4Player Network, which can only mean one thing. That it is time to drink and talk about video games. Hey everybody, welcome to Cocktail Time. I'm your host, Joseph Christ, here at 4Player Network. And with me, as per usual, is Chris Davis. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Here, gotta fix this little. Oh, all my little bits are a little off. There we go. And Bob Webb, how you doing, Bob?
I'm doing pretty good.
Very good. Very, very good. So I have this thing where I don't shave for cocktail time anymore. I think that's.
Hey, you're getting in my stick, man. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening. Like, so last Friday I didn't shave. Then I shaved on Saturday, and then I didn't shave all week. I just want to see what's going to happen. I want to see what happens. Probably nothing, because I don't really grow facial hair so well at all.
I have that problem as well.
It doesn't really have. So the goatee comes in. The goatee, like the top here and the bottom here, kind of comes in. But the sides don't really fill out. So I can do kind of like this devilish goatee sort of thing. But the sides don't really work. So we'll see. It should be kind of interesting. But I do have this. I don't know if you can see this sort of scar on my upper lip here. That's there. So I don't know what's going to happen there. It just looks kind of manly, I guess. I don't know. But I used to have...
Is that a knife fight?
Yes. I'll give that answer. It was a knife fight I had with myself and probably a lot of alcohol. That's what happened. So... But, you know, I used to have a goatee, but it was pre-scar, so I don't know what's going to happen with the whole thing. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not actually looking to do a full beard. I don't really believe in the beard. I'm not really one of those beard believers, but I just kind of want to beard believers. But I just want to see what happens. It's more of an experiment than anything else. You know?
I tried growing a beard for about a month once, and it just turned out atrocious.
If you're trying for a month, like a month should be beard at that point. If you go a month,
it's usually beard for me.
Yeah, you have lots of testosterone, Bob.
I'm full of it.
You're just full of it. I'm hairy from like my legs are kind of hairy and stuff, but it's the facial hair doesn't really come in. So I don't know what that's about. It's got to be a nationality thing. So
possibly, I'm Scottish and Swedish, so we got that.
Are those a hairy people? Is that what that is?
There's definitely some hairy people in my family.
Really? Yeah.
See, I'm Welsh, so no.
What is Welsh exactly?
It's like Southern England.
Okay, Southern England.
Yeah.
Southern England is Welsh. Southern England. Why aren't you... What?
From Wales.
Oh, okay. So you're English.
But in particular, Welsh.
But Welsh in particular.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the Welsh people.
I'm just thinking about that part of Britain, which is where all the men look exactly like Chris Davis. Just a bunch of Chris Davises wandering.
All these Chris Davises running around with all these
people need me.
All these little men running around with cameras on their backs and their knapsacks.
I can go somewhere where I'm finally understood.
Why is Welsh a thing? I still don't. So
Wales is its own political entry, I think, right? It's
in the middle of England.
It's part of the British Isles. It's not England or Ireland or Scotland.
Oh, so it's like a little island there.
So I'm assuming it's part of the United Kingdom?
Yeah.
So it's part of the United Kingdom, but not English.
I don't know.
Do you have any Brits in chat? Do you think they can explain this to us? See, in America, when a state decides it don't want to be a part of America anymore, we burn down their villages. We pull them back in. That's what happened to the South. We just said, no, come on back to America. Come on back to America. Speaking of which, Speaking of which, speaking of America, did I talk? No, I did not, because I saw this on Saturday. All right, I have to give a very important movie recommendation to everybody. Everybody.
Okay.
And it's on Netflix right now, so there's no excuse for you after Cocktail Time is finished. Everybody watching live at 4pp.tv. I'm talking to you, Biopower, you Pride Swine, you True Gunner, you Bob Guy 13, you Barzy. Talking to all you people watching live right now. There's no excuse for when the show is over for you to go over to Netflix and watch FDR American Badass.
I've heard of this, haven't watched it.
I heard this, yeah.
It is so good. You have no idea. I'm a fan of bad movies. The thing about this movie is that it's not even, it's bad, but it's so good bad. Like, it's bad, but the actors are really good, even when FDR is talking like a pimp gangster. Like, he's really talking like a pimp gangster, like, you know, with passion and passion. You know, it's basically what happens is it follows the life of FDR from before he was president through the election and then through World War II. Except in this movie, he gets bitten by a werewolf, and that's how he gets polio. Okay? And then the werewolves start growing power, are gaining more power, and then he decides he needs to run and become president. He becomes president, and by the time he becomes president, basically Hitler, Mussolini, and Hirohito are all vampires. I'm sorry, are all werewolves. So there's like a werewolf Hitler and a werewolf Hirohito and a werewolf Mussolini, and they build this werewolf army to take over the world, and that's how that becomes World War II. It's so good.
Amazing.
It's so good. You have no idea. And FDR has this. He has this tryst with his secretary, and FDR's wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, won't touch his as he calls them shriveled polio legs. So they have this. There's this quote unquote like kind of sex scene in the Oval Office where the secretary is rubbing FDR's polio legs almost until he reaches orgasm, and then she lifts her dress, and from her garter she pulls out bottles of mustard and ketchup and starts spraying them all over Roosevelt's polio legs and rubbing them with the ketchup and licking the ketchup off. And that's where Eleanor Roosevelt walks in and catches them, and they have an argument. It's so good. It's so good.
Amazing.
And the guy who they have playing FDR looks just like him, does a great job. The guy playing Eisenhower looks just like him. The guy they have playing, what's his name? The British guy, Churchill, is really well done. It's so good. It's so good.
Amazing. I might have to watch this after. Yeah.
At one point, FDR gets this wheelchair that has machine guns and rocket launchers on it. And the final scene is not only Roosevelt leading the army to storm the beaches of Normandy, but it's him personally fighting Mussolini, Hirohito, and Hitler on the beaches of Normandy. Because, you know, history.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, I highly recommend it. I watched it one night, and then I watched half of it again the next day because it was so good.
That sounds amazing.
So there you go. My movie recommendation for this cocktail time. But now it is time for us to do our toast of the week. I'm going to go first. So my toast, so what am I drinking tonight? I have just a little bit of vodka, not an entire bottle like last week, and some twisted tea, so I'm keeping it kind of sedate. The trick is, don't put the bottle next to me. Don't just put it within reach, because I will just keep reaching for it until there's nothing left to reach for. I hurt on Saturday and Sunday. It was a bad weekend. Anyway, tonight I am toasting ZeniMax Online because I've actually been watching a lot of stuff about Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm starting to kind of get excited about it, honestly. It's an MMO, and I know MMOs and all that kind of stuff, but I'm kind of thinking it looks pretty good, and I'm actually... part of that excitement is me getting excited about playing an MMO like that on my PlayStation 4, just kind of hanging out in my living room. So we'll see. And they did an unboxing and reveal of the Elder Scrolls Imperial Edition today. That comes with a bunch of stuff and a giant statue, and it's $100, and I'm trying not to buy it. We'll see how that goes.
Does it at least have a cloth map with it?
It has a map.
I think it definitely is like a full-scale map.
Yeah, but it's not a cloth map. It's a paper map, probably. So, and as Frank mentions in the thing, my only big downside for it is it has a $15 month subscription fee, plus the price of the game. I know. It's kind of, it's an old archaic system. I'm not sure why they're going that way, but, what are you going to do? Anyway, that's my toast of the week. Bob Webb, why don't you go next?
I've got a shot of vodka, and I'm drinking. I've been saving this bottle of Chimay Grand Reserve. Got that in my Duvel glass. I'll be drinking that tonight. It's
very nice.
It's a big-ass bottle. I got my lovely beer cozies on it, so you can't actually see it. But I'm trying to keep it nice and cold.
I like
it's a really high-gravity beer.
That's a very classic.
It is Hawaiian Shirt Friday in some offices.
Yeah,
right?
it's Aloha Friday, bitches.
Yeah.
And tonight, what am I going to toast? I don't know. I'm going to toast to this next year because I just quit my job.
Yeah.
Today was my last day, and I'm done. Next week, I'm going to be full-time employed with Next Gen Pants. So I'm drinking to that.
Yes. Congratulations, Bob. It's a big day.
Good for you, sir.
It's a big day. All right. Chris Davis, if that is your real name.
That actually happens to be my real name. Tonight, I have my standard screwdriver, but I added a little of that concentrated water liquid stuff in there. So hopefully it'll...
Otherwise known as water.
Concentrated water liquid?
What is concentrated water liquid? Wait, what is it?
It's like a flavor enhancer water thing. Like you buy these little bottles of
you brought those to PAX. I remember that.
In there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good. That's how I drink water now.
I like concentrated water liquid.
Concentrated water. Yeah.
Distilled water.
Yes. Now, what are you toasting tonight?
My toast tonight is going to be the fine folks over at Overkill Software, the creators of Payday 2, who released a new pack of DLC, which I am frothing at the mouth to play. They've added a new weapon pack that adds light machine guns and knives to the game, as well as a brand new enemy. So I'm looking forward to playing that this weekend.
Nice. What was that?
Payday 2.
Payday 2, the game I'll be getting for free on PlayStation Network. That game.
Oh, it's on PlayStation Network?
For free.
It's worth it, man. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, no, it's one of the free games on PSN in February. So, all right, let's do our toast. 1 and 2 and 3.
Not bad.
All right. What did you wait?
Seriously.
So
what?
Quick question. So you have for you, Mr. Davis. You have a screwdriver, right?
Yes.
And then you put the concentrated flavor water into it. What flavor was the flavor water?
It was like this tropical punch thing.
Oh, that's got to be creamy. I bet it gave a creamy sort of.
It kind of is,
right?
yeah, just a tad.
Like a little vanilla. Sounds good. So anyway,
good.
So yeah, Payday 2 is one of the free games. If you're a PlayStation Network subscriber, they have their free games every month. And for the month of February, that's one of the free games. It's that one, and it's for the PS3, though, not for the PS4. And then Outlast for the PS4 is free this month.
and Metro Last Light.
And Metro Last Light for the PS3. So it's
Which
really
is a goddamn fantastic game, and you'll need to play it.
It's a really good month for PlayStation subscribers.
Really is.
This month, I think.
Maybe I should end up picking up PS Plus.
It's kind of worth it. I mean, think of it this way: you're paying. I'd say the cheapest PlayStation Network subscription is $50 a year, right? And then you're basically getting 2 to 3 games free every month. Each game costing you, $40 to $60 new. It kind of pays for itself in 1 month.
It's true.
They
do throw a lot of really good shit on there, and the sales that they do on PSN with the PlayStation Plus member.
Of course, remember, the one takeaway is that if you get it free on PlayStation Network, if you ever are not part of PlayStation Network, all those free games go away. They all go away. So it's kind of an ingenious way to lock you in there. But if you're in it for the long term, I say go for it. So, but yeah, so I'll be playing Payday 2, Payday. Welcome to Payday 2. This month. So
see, you're going to want to play with friends first off. So make sure you play with at least 2 people.
I have people who have added me on PlayStation Network, so I will. I'm sure there's some community members who are on PlayStation Network, and I will play with them.
And make sure you have a headset because this is very, very team oriented.
That's going to be I have. I have the one for PS4. I can probably plug that into my PS3. I do have a problem with my A40s. They're kind of busted. So not. So here's what's going on, Chris. Maybe you can help me out with this. It's not the headphones that are fucked up. It's the voice. And when I speak, you know how when you speak in the A40s, you can kind of hear yourself a little bit, and I kind of like that. I like having that vocal feedback. It's from being a singer.
I've never had that.
Yeah, you hear yourself a little bit in the headphones.
No, I never hear myself.
It sounds like you have it cross wires.
Yeah.
No, but that's not. See, I haven't even gotten to the problem yet. I could always hear myself a little bit, and I like that because right now with my setup for cocktail time, I have it set up so I can hear myself in the headphones. And when you're doing a lot of radio and vocal stuff and singing, you want to hear yourself because if you don't, you will actually strain your voice because you'll be speaking louder, just naturally. So it's one of those tricks to sort of modulate yourself. But anyway, the problem is that when I speak now in my headphones, I hear myself, but I hear myself really loud and really overmodulated. When I'm talking in my headphones. God. And I don't know if that's what it sounds like on the other end, but I can't play like that. So I don't know what part of my headphones is broken.
Is there a way you can turn down the volume in which you don't hear yourself at all?
But see, the thing is, I don't know if everybody else hears me overmodulated like that.
Yeah, see, what I'm thinking is that you ought to do a test recording on your PC.
Yeah, maybe.
See how that sounds.
Maybe I should. But I like hearing myself, though. That's the thing. I need that. I need to hear myself.
Narcissistic bastard.
I'm a narcissistic bastard. I need to hear myself. No, it's easier. It's easier on my voice if I can hear myself. Ask any radio DJ. Or people who use their voice a lot. It's really a lot to hearing yourself quite a bit. But anyway, so you can't help me. Thank you.
I am sorry.
Useless. All right, so let's do this. We one game I know we all played a bunch of this week, or even last week. Maybe not this week. It was sometime this weekend. Was Rust.
Yes.
We played a lot of Rust on a new server, and we've been trying and clawing to get ourselves a stranglehold on this island. And in our group, there's actually one person missing, Jeff, who is part of our little Rust group. So I'm going to pull Jeff in now, so Jeff can be part of this conversation. Let's see, pull him in. This is where Jeff doesn't answer his phone.
Jeff, you there?
Let's see. I hope he's not using
Is he aware that we're pulling him in?
Yeah,
he's aware. I hope he's not using his laptop or his iPad, because then it just, And it sounds like, oh, hey, how you guys doing, eh? Hey, you can hear me okay?
I was just in the car.
I was just in the car. There he is.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, I wasn't aware. Hold on a second.
Oh, shit.
Because it's giving me a delay.
Well, you're just delayed on the feed.
So.
Can you turn down your radio, please?
Yes.
So we wanted to talk about Rust with you.
Awesome.
Because we have our little foursome here, and we've been trying to get ourselves a stranglehold, and we've been having some issues. I think it's safe to say.
Some?
Yeah, just a few, you know.
Sure.
So
we're still there, Joseph.
Are you still there? So let's think about this. So what happened basically was, how did this work? Okay. So we had our first night where we could not fucking find each other, because the first night is almost the hardest, because you all just sort of get in and we're all in different places on the island, and we spent hours trying to find each other. It was like, well, follow the sun. Where's the sun now? I don't know. Wait, it's midday. You can't use the sun. Oh, fuck. All right, head toward the coast. Okay, where's the coast? Where's the sun going? Oh, west. Okay, head toward the coast. Then we're on the coast, and then when you saw somebody like, hey, how you doing? Boom, you're dead. And then you get respawned somewhere. And then we're looking, I'm like, I'm on rocks. And then we look at Chris's feed. He's like, I'm on hills. And we're like, what the fuck is Chris? He's on rocks. I'm on hills. We're both on the fucking beach. What the fuck is going on? So eventually, Chris goes to a high mountain and just makes 2 or 3 fires and stays there. We're like, wait, just stay in one spot and build some fires, and we'll look for that. And in trying to find Chris, for some reason, none of us, for hours, none of us found each other. But we all found the same motherfucker named Banana Pants something, Banana Jimmy.
Blue Banana.
None of us found each other, but we all found Blue Banana, who fucking killed us every day as soon as he saw us. And I remember we were talking over Skype, and I would just hear Jeff go, I would hear him go, all right, I don't know where, oh, wait, there's somebody here. Hey, it's okay. Don't you, you son of a bitch.
It's fucking garbage.
That's all I would hear, and I'd be like, I'm dead. That son of a bitch.
And of course, you can see in the game, you can see when anyone kills anyone else. So
right.
Then you just see like Blue Banana ended quality beats.
Right, yeah, and then he killed me, and I think the only person he didn't kill was Chris.
Yeah, because I couldn't find anybody.
Right. So I had to leave while you guys were. Before you guys found each other. So pick it up after I left.
So we eventually found each other. We finally found a common object in the environment that we could actually rally around.
What was that object, by the way?
It was a couple of large cabins players had built.
Okay.
And Bob had just walked by it, and I was just looking over it. And so we were able to coordinate ourselves and actually figure out where we were.
Oh, I see.
Then it took about another half hour for Jeff to get to us.
Yep.
And by that time, we moved into this valley area called Hacker Valley, I believe, south. And we started building a cabin. What we didn't know was on the other side of Hacker Valley, Blue Banana and friend had established a base.
We were in the same fucking valley as Blue Banana and a friend.
We were imposing on territory and rocking the wrong colors.
So we started setting up, and over time we had community members pop up, and we started building a house. And we got a fair size. I think we made several mistakes in building it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we built someplace. We thought it was pretty secure. And at about 2:00 in the morning, we logged off.
Right.
And then we found out 12 hours later that we had been raided. And somebody had evidently C4'd a wall, had gotten into the building, raided all our stuff, took all our loot. Evidently couldn't get into the back room where I was.
Because he didn't have no more C4. See, C4 is super hard to get, and that idiot spent, he didn't really get much.
Right.
We didn't really have guns or shit like that, what I mean? So he wasted like something that probably takes you literally like either like 5 strong days without dying or like a month's worth of like saving up.
So what you need to do is when you build a base, you need to build it like a castle where you have your hold, and then you have walls that keep on going surrounding it. So to get to your base, to get to your hold where your sleeping bags are, they literally need like 4 C4s or 5 C4s to get through.
I think it takes more than one C4 to actually take down a metal door. It takes multiple ones.
Yeah.
It takes like 3
so what you need to do,
charges.
we need like walls.
Yeah. What they did to fuck us over was they put the wall back, and then at our entrance they built a whole other room with a metal door. And since that was password protected, we couldn't get out.
Yeah, so we're locked in.
You're locked in
forever.
Forever.
Which is kind of a smart idea to get us out of that territory, because if we're all in there, we're fucking stuck. We can't get out of there. We're just going to starve to death eventually.
Right.
And I think the one thing that we might have been able to do to prevent that was put the door in a way that they couldn't put down a foundation. Either put a wood wall in front of there. I think you can do like a wood barricade or something.
Right.
That'll keep people from building in front of that door, or something that keeps people from allowing them to like encapsulate that front doorway and trap you in.
Yeah. See, I think the fundamental flaw we had was that we built the cabin into the hillside.
Yeah.
So
also,
even if we would have blocked off the door, they still could have gotten on the roof and just blown up the roof.
and something they're going to be adding in one of the later updates is the ability for owners of a structure to easily delete parts of their building.
That would be nice.
So when you leave, you can just rebuild the wall where you were, or the multiple walls, and then when you come back, just delete them and then build yourself back in again.
So have no doors at all.
Almost no doors at all, or be just for convenience sake. But your outer walls can be solid at that point.
Yeah.
If you want to. But
so
you guys, so you're all killed, and you were either killed or entrapped. I remember.
Yeah.
I was looking for your stuff, and so it was. It was a lost cause at that point.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even bother.
Yeah. So I started wandering around, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to wander around. And so what people have to realize is this particular server, I was on this server already, and then the server got wiped through an update, and then we all came on and did something else. But before the server wipe, I had a nice little area over by Resource Valley.
You still do.
Well, we should bleep that out when this podcast goes in. I have this
Dude, I'm still alive.
I have this great place at so I was actually just walking around, and all of a sudden I realized I saw something I had seen before, which is small rad town. I was like, oh my god, this is where I used to be. So I found my area where I was before, and no one had taken it over yet. So I said, okay, I'm going to build stuff here. So I think I texted you, Jeff, or somehow we connected, and I said, hey, I'm back in. I found my old hunting ground. I'm going to set up camp here, and there's. I was like, there's really good resources here, all this kind of stuff. So I ended up, Jeff came in the game, and then I had to get Jeff to find me, and that took another hour and a half. We found
each other pretty quick, though.
It was only an hour.
Yeah, but compared to like the 2 hours of
my god,
it takes a long time to walk somewhere, even
Victus was
so distracting.
Yeah, Victus was telling me that it took him 3 hours to find you guys.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So like the 40 minutes that it took for me to find you, and we used a map. Rust. Apparently, Rust is the same continent. It's just things are randomly generated within the continent. You know what I mean?
But the towns are all in the same places and stuff.
Yeah. So there's a map. There's a bunch of maps you can Google search online, and you can kind of use it to get a better idea of where you actually are in the game. Right. And I used that, and I found you fairly quickly. Joseph, by the way, everyone picked the most amazing place to put a thing. And I built alongside Joseph a hut when I found him, and we were just gathering resources. And at that point, Joseph had to leave, right?
Right.
Joseph. So Joseph leaves, and I'm there. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to gather a bunch of resources. So tomorrow or whatever, when Joseph logs in, we can have more stuff. And maybe while I'm offline, he can build some stuff. So I start getting to work, but it's night. So I stay in my hut, and I'm building shit and crafting shit. And then in the middle of the night, I think to myself, shit, I need wood. Joseph probably has wood. I'm going to go over there, check out some of his wood, take it, build some stuff.
I like it. I like it when you come over at night. I like it when you come over
there
at night.
in the middle of the night and check out some of his wood.
I like it when you come over at night to check out my wood.
Yes, he has very lovely wood, so I have to go check it out.
Yeah.
So I go over there, check out his wood. So I go check out his wood, and it's strong, stiff wood.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, I get to his fucking hut, and it's open.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was waiting for you, baby.
It's spread open.
Oh, yeah, the wood, yeah.
Wow.
Real
wide open.
Wide open.
Just the sack is there.
There was only a sack. There was only a sack.
There was only a sack.
But it was empty.
No Joseph to be found.
That's true.
No Joseph at all. And Joseph's beloved M16 was missing.
No, M4, my M4. So that was
M4.
I forgot that part of it. So I spawned in, and I basically spawned in as a caveman, and I went to small rad town, and the first fucking box I went in was an M4 and fucking ammo, and I was like, holy shit. Like, oh, this is like so good. And yeah, and that's like the only thing they took was my fucking gun, and I never even got to kill anybody with it. Very sad.
Yeah. I'm still at that spot, though, Joseph. I'm day 8, maybe day 9. I've been alive. Listen, this is what Rust has become, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. The first thing I do is log into Rust to make sure I'm still alive.
Really?
Then I log out and tend to my morning. As soon as I get home from work, I fucking log into Rust to see if I'm still alive. You know what I mean?
Oh my
like,
God.
I'm constantly checking. I'm like, wow, no one's found me. And I found this great way to fortify my hut by putting spiked walls.
Yeah.
And it's worked, man. Nobody can blow up the hut. I have it pretty fortified. Like I found a trick where I got it in a perfect place where you can't get up to the wall to put C4 on it because you would have to destroy the spiked wall first.
Can you C4 the spiked wall?
Yeah, but then you don't want to waste C4 on the spiked wall.
I see. People just think it's just not worth it.
And 10 minutes to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying, by the way. Has anybody gone out to go raiding? Because I did while we were in this location, Joseph.
I have.
So after I left, after you left, and I found your hut broken into.
Right.
You only had a wood door on it, so I was like, "Fuck, Joseph!" And like, they only took the gun. They knew, they must have seen you and like scouted you out and like only went there for the gun. They didn't give a shit about anything, and you had a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So they only cared about the gun.
Oh my God, that's true. They probably saw me running around and fucking watched where I went and just, that's like what happens in real life. People see you just walking around like, oh, that guy's got a good laptop. I'm going to follow him and see where he goes and then find my opportune time to bust in and grab it. Oh, it's so true to life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. So I fortify the place up. I build closer to Joseph because I was disturbed about how I didn't hear anybody hacking away at your door because it takes like 4 minutes with a hatchet, you know? And I realized that you can't, I think it was Victus or one of the guys from the server, he had stopped in, he had found me and stuff, and I was like, hey, Stan, tell me when you can, stop when you can't hear the hatchet anymore. And I found a distance at which you can hear it. We were just outside of it. So I was like, fuck, I got to build closer to Joseph. So if anybody's hacking away at him, I can hear it still. And then I did. I fortified your hut and I grabbed metals and made guns and a whole bunch of shit. But then your hut somehow got broken into again. Yeah. And now it's gone. There's nothing. No bag, no nothing.
So is my sleeping bag gone?
Yeah, it wasn't for a while. I think like only 2 days ago, someone fucking hacked away at your sleeping bag.
They decay. It decays over time.
Oh, does it?
You have to use it or not around for it. It'll decay.
Okay, so that means I basically am going to spawn randomly and I got to find you again.
Yeah, go for it. You know exactly where I am, though. It's
I do.
Perfect. Dude, it's the best place I've ever seen.
So when I come back in, I'll find you and we'll keep building up. and not too fast, just right, and then we'll.
So this is what I was thinking we should do. We should like all spread out within the area, but not build together. Like build like a chain of us that can kind of take care of each other, but not stay in one central area. You know, and then do what those guys have been doing. The roadblocks. People have been, in the middle of the night, like groups of 10 people have been going out with all the supplies they need and like spend the whole night building a fortress with like a group of 10. That big fortress in the middle of the street right after a small rad town.
Yeah.
Dude, that must have, that was, I think, that must have taken a long time, you know? So I could imagine that they would have taken like a group of 10 with everything already pre-made. You build nothing there. You build all the things back at the base in time, you know, and then you go out with 20 walls and 20 spiked walls, and everybody runs out. 10 of us run out there and barricade the street off. And then now we control a major part of the map. Like, that's the most awesomest thing. Like, I can't even go near there. Like, they must sleep like 15 people. There's always somebody in the server guarding the place.
That's what you need.
What I mean?
Like, for this game,
It's
you
so
need someone.
amazing,
You need
dude.
someone like 24/7, like on shifts, like doing lookouts and stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not even 24/7. I mean, it just tends to happen. Like, oh, you know, you guys are 3 hours ahead. I'm 3 hours ahead. You're 3 hours behind. Like, my like time to go to bed is like your whole shit. I'm ready to get to play. You know,
UK and Asia friends.
So and then like and then you get a UK friend or something that plays in your same server, and now you have someone taking care of the late night. And then, you know, if it's a Saturday, I wake up, you know, 7, 8, and I'll check. You know what I mean? And just so happens, like, every time I walk by that same street when I go out raiding, you know, dude, there's always somebody there, sniper rifle, dude, and like they're just taking out people on the street and just making sure like they hold that piece of territory. And it's such an important piece of territory, right? Because I learned, Joseph, the last time, that the road is very important in that game. It helps you circle around the map in like a circuit. And the object is to kind of find, like, the object of the game is really to kind of find landmarks that you could kind of point out and be like, oh shit, I remember.
So
like, I
can you
love
like
that.
wall off an entire rad town?
Well, you wouldn't want to because of the radiation, unless you could always. Oh man, maybe. Yeah, you probably could. I know what you're saying, because it would just respawn new shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not sure.
You would need a lot of radiation pills. I mean, you'd need. It's some of those. In some
How
of those.
close do you need to be to?
Oh, you even outside of the walls, you're already catching radiation.
Yeah, like within 100 yards, you're already getting radiation. And then in some of
So
the.
you just like build a giant, like the Great Wall of China around this giant rad town.
Get like
And
20.
you can
Get like
control the
20.
rad town, you
Get
can
like
control all the
20
resources in there.
Well, you know, if you all had rad pills, a lot of food, and rad suits, because you get radiation suits, and just took 20 people and just completely built a giant fortress around a rad town, that would be so funny.
That would be amazing.
And then you just have
Mad Max.
And then continually just like guns would just spawn for you constantly.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, you'd get so many resources.
Everyone, but you know what happened? You'd be the target of the entire server.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
is, you take we'll take a community weekend, we'll take a big chunk of time, maybe like 6 hours, and then just get like 20 people to go fortify an entire fucking town.
But we would need, like I said, like Jeff is right. We would need to have everything. We need, like, okay, we made 50 foundations. We made like 75 wall segments. We made like 120, poles, and just
spend a night and build.
Everyone just get 20 people. Just go. You guys get left side. You guys get like east, west, north, and south, and we all just meet each other in the middle. You know,
Yeah,
and
that takes time and planning like that. There's no way they built that without getting fucked with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's too many people, dude.
And then if you get fucked with, you lose almost all your resources. You lose all the wood.
You lose everything.
Because they'll
It's
just
so
come and
sad.
take it all. Yeah. Scrawny Flannelman, who was a subscriber at 4PP, said, Joseph, you would be the Brotherhood of Steel at that point.
Yeah.
We would be.
That'd be really funny, because then you can like start selling and trading guns and weapons to people.
Yeah, and you have an endless supply.
Yeah. You can have like a trade room where you have like you basically have giant airlocks
Dude,
where you go and you go and change the codes on the doors, and you'd be like, all right, we're gonna trade you some shit. We want you to come into this airlock, drop your shit into the bag, and then we'll come in, verify it, drop our stuff in the other bag, take everything out, and then you can come back in and then trade pick up the guns.
But even coming to you would be dangerous because of the radiation. So if people wanted to raid your giant fortress, like they would have to they would be worried about you shooting them, but also about all the radiation they'd be getting. Oh my god!
I heard there's radiation bombs too that you could throw that like jacks up radiation.
Really?
So you could just fuck with them by throwing radiation bombs and then leave them with only like 2 minutes and say like, you got 2 minutes to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean?
I want to be the Brotherhood of Steel.
That's an awesome idea.
I want to be the Brotherhood of Steel now.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. I'm ready to play. I wanted to say, can we discuss the emotion? Like, there's so many feelings that like you get while playing this game, even down to like fear and paranoia and it really has like this really great payoff, constant payoff.
Let me just interject real fast about that. There's somebody on my Facebook who I know, kinda, maybe a community member, maybe not, but he is currently he's in a Raiders guild or whatever, you know what I mean, like on Rust. But he's currently acting as a sleeper agent in another guild that his guild wants to raid. And he's slowly working from the inside out to fuck them up and get them ready to get raided by his real guild.
Right.
Which is amazing.
The thing is, right?
It's amazing.
It's EVE, right? It's like EVE Online.
Yeah,
like we decide what the game's about almost. So Joseph, on our server the other day while I was on building that hut, all of a sudden a thing pops up and it was like arena event, come join and type this in chat. And then all of a sudden like 70 people like type this chat, right? And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Right. And so they started discussing this, and apparently like the admins built an arena on the map that they load in, right? And everyone goes in unarmed, and what they do is, I guess they respawn you back fairly, like I don't know, they do something that makes it like fair that you will respawn back at your camp after you die, and without losing anything, and apparently there was like a gladiator match of like 700 guys with only like hatchets, like in a giant arena, like till one man stands,
right?
Like just for fun in the server. And I was like, man, like that's fucking awesome. And you know what the coolest part was? While that was happening, the map was empty, so I was out and about all day with no problems, right? So I was this is the emotions I was talking about, right? So all of a sudden, Diana's there and she's like, all these people are fighting, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go out because everybody's out here at this Coliseum watching this fucking fight go on. I'm gonna go fucking raid something. So I'm out raiding, and it's the first time I've actually attempted to break into somebody's house, and it's fucking terrifying. It's so nerve-wracking because it takes a long time with like a hatchet. I was with a hatchet on a wooden door, and then inside that room turned out to be another door. And so it took me about 5 minutes on the first door and 5 minutes on the second door.
Right.
And every time like I heard something, there would people walk by, there's still people out there, and like just the feeling of like, turning your back and like hacking away, and then like stopping, listening, making sure you don't hear no footsteps. Like, it's fucking tense.
You know what you should do?
So good.
Tell when we were on the server together, tell the story about you finding somebody's house open, and then him waking up.
Oh my god, dude, this is the best. Can I have that beer, babes? Hold on a second, guys. I put beers in the fridge. Can you get them for me?
So this all happened while I was trying to get Jeff to where I was on the server, and I heard it going on over Skype.
So I'm on the way to find Joseph, and I stumble on this hut, like a two foundation hut, and the fucking door is wide open, and there's a there's mad shit in there. It's like everything, 2 storage boxes. Like it looks like a well-designed, hut, you know? So I'm like, what the hell? And I walk in and it looked like someone accidentally logged out or had a power surge or something. Like the dude was just sleeping there. He left his door open. So I start rummaging through his shit. I take guns. I start taking all this stuff. I'm like, oh shit. Like this dude, I forgot to kill him, right? And I'm on Skype with Joseph. I tell Joseph like, hey, the dude's just laying here. And Joseph's like, oh shit, hit him in the head with a rock. And I'm like, oh, what? You could kill him. He's like, yeah, you could kill him with a rock. I fucking turn around and the dude's standing up. He's staring right at me, right? And I have a fucking rock in my hand. And he goes, oh no, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing in my house? What are you doing in my house? And he freaks out with such actual emotion in his voice. I start fucking laughing. I start bashing his fucking head in with a rock. You know what I mean? Because I'm in his fucking house. But dude, you had to hear. He was terrified. Like, I felt like an actual robber. And Diana starts laughing because she's fucking nuts. She thought it was hilarious that, like, you know, all of a sudden I turn around and it was like, oh shit. Like the dude was standing there, you know? And like, he instantly hit V to talk. And he was like, dude, what are you doing in my house? What the fuck are you doing in my house? Like, he started freaking out, you know what I mean? I just started hitting him with a rock. I killed him, and I took all his shit. But it was fucking... dude, you had to hear, like, he gave me an exact, like... He gave me the raw emotion of like what it was like if someone broke into your house and you woke up in the middle of the night and like turned the light on and you just bumped into the robber and he just stares at you. You know what I mean? Like imagine what you would say and like how real it would be. Right. You know, like how emotionally real it would be in your voice, the tone of it. Right. Like that's exactly how he sounded, right? He sounded so like terrified and like afraid and like angry all in once. You know what I mean? It was so funny. It's that game's amazing for the price. For the price and all the stuff that's gonna come, guys. Like what did I hear? I heard about traps. Pretty soon there's gonna be floor panels where if you dig, it leaves like spikes that like if someone steps in, they could just step in and like fall right through a fucking spike trap and like die, you know, in a spike pit, like that kind of stuff, and it only allowing you and your friends just like that. Doors, you'd passcode them, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. Like, that's going to make things... Think about what the game will become. Like, it'll also become a puzzle platformer when you're trying to break into someone's hut. Yeah. You know, because now you're like, whoa, fuck. You know what I mean? There's like, I got to pay attention to the floor panels, time. You don't know when someone's logging in on the server. Like,
it's like Dungeon Keeper at some point, you know, like a Dungeon Keeper game, you know?
Yeah.
People are going to build like amazing. These. People are going to build. Oh my god! You know what people can do? People can build like big dungeon-esque things that have traps you have to get through to get to their treasure and stuff. Like that could be kind of amazing.
Joseph, I've heard about dungeons already. I've heard people, they build a trap. Like it looks like a place they place like in a gully. They wall a section off with large walls, and they place what's it called? A safe, like a supply crate, a big supply crate, a bunch of them in this gully, right? And like I fell victim to one. You're walking along the road and you see a spot with like 3 supply crates and you're like, what the hell? And like once you jump down, there's no way to get out.
You're done.
You know what I mean? So then you're just stuck there. And I tried like for 15 minutes to get out and I'm like, motherfucker. Like, and you know what the best part is? There was somehow on the opposite side of the wall, I couldn't see it, but there must have been like some type of like stairs, because there's a door in the middle of the wall, like way up high. That's unreachable. That looks like they could jump down to go get our stuff after we die.
Oh, that's all. I've seen.
So it's a trap. I've seen an actual hunting trap.
Yeah, I've seen pit traps people make with spiked walls inside of a square type of thing, and so people can go up and go, oh, what's down here, and they just end up falling down and they just die. And then there's a little door, and people just go and check the bag, and they go and check the bag. It's like a Venus flytrap for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And prisons too. Like someone will find somebody in a hut, right? The intent I heard from a couple of people is like, if they allow us to make paper eventually, we'll be able to leave notes for people and like actually type in notes, and you'd be able to leave notes. And because people already have gone into somebody's house, taken out their front door, and then lock them in with their own front door and take away their C4, so they have no way to escape the hut. And they were like, well, wouldn't it be great if we could leave a note on that person, take all their stuff and just leave a note, and be kind of like Saw, like, hey, we're going to come here at 12:30, make sure you log in at 12:30, and we'll come here and we're going to ask you 3 questions. If you can answer one of the 3 questions right, you'll survive. We'll open the door. Like, just that kind of like emergent gameplay story type stuff is like fucking awesome.
Well, we talked about this last week I think we did, but how this, like, people are just hungry for this sort of emerging gameplay, and that's why games like, Rust and games like DayZ sell 1 million copies while they're still in alpha, and why games like EVE Online, which like on its face is kind of a dull game until you get into the society of it, are so popular.
Yeah, it's the people that really make the game. Like I brought up last week, Ultima Online was very much like that, where it's just kind of a open world, blank slate game where you could fucking do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I knew a guy that ran a bar.
Well, like Star Wars Galaxies was like that. Star Wars Galaxies was another kind of emerging gameplay game that was very popular for its time, where people just were musicians, or they just sold wind to people to craft things, or people had stores and they sold blasters because they crafted them themselves, and that's what they did. It was just kind of amazing. So, yeah, that's what I say. People are just hungry for that kind of thing.
I am too, but I kind of don't want to play Rust right now in its current state. I kind of just don't want to play it because I've had a couple bad experiences in the past few days of playing it.
I'll tell you what, it's definitely, you have to be prepared for loss, not only because it's just a difficult game and people are monsters, but basically, with the updates, there's a lot of server wipes. So you and 5 friends will get together, spend a month building this giant fortress, and then overnight it'll be gone.
Well, that's not my problem. I'm not worried about losing stuff. It's that, number one, people are assholes. I swear to God, in 1 2-hour play period, I was killed 7 times as a new spawn. I wasn't even able to get any fucking wood before a guy would run up to me with an M4.
No, it's true.
And just shoot me down.
Listen, I was
for no reason whatsoever.
I was going through that myself, and then it's all about chance, though, because I was going through that and I was getting really frustrated. And then I spoke about this last week, where then I was a new life, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go in this town. And I raided the town, and there was no one there, and I found my first gun. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that's when the game really, I started to be able to do stuff, But I get your pain.
It can definitely empower people, but if you're just starting out, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest problem comes from the fact that, and they're trying to fix this. If you look at their planned patch notes for Rust on Trello, you can tell that they want to fix this. It's the resource spawning, because what people will do is that they will, in the current state of the game, all the resources, they're not dynamic. They're preset static areas in which these resources will spawn.
Right. Yeah,
and there are
when we were playing.
There are gigantic swaths of land out there that'd be perfect for setting up a base or just a bunch of things, and nothing spawns out there ever.
Right.
And so what people do is that they set up these elaborate, huge fortresses in these resource spawning areas, and more often than not, the spawn zones are either inside those areas or right next to them. So they're marking their territory, and they're going to kill any new spawn. That's really frustrating.
That's kind of how the world is. I mean, when you think about it, the strong civilization set up in the areas where there's lots of resources, keep those away from the areas where there's no resources, and kill anyone who's going to try to get those resources. That's kind of how it works in the real world.
But when it's only making use of like 15-20% of the map,
no, I know.
That's really fucking annoying, especially when that's where you spawn.
Yeah. No, I get you. I mean, there is a valley called Resource Valley. So I get you. I totally get you. I mean, there's swaths of areas up north that I've never been in. I don't even know what's up there. A lot of we need to take a group of people and get a bunch of food and weapons and just sort of explore these nether regions of the map, just kind of see what's in those areas. Be kind of interesting.
They just
Chris, I think you need to do like what I'm doing is I only log in to check in and like maybe gather a thing or two or make another spiked wall just in case, and then I log out and I don't venture off from my camp. If I log in and I'm alone and like I don't have Joseph or you or anybody to play with, I typically stay off the server and just hide away. You know what I mean? And because I'm afraid, not afraid, but I have more opportunity to have someone watch my back and strength in numbers kind of thing where I think it's the kind of game where if you dump time into it like solo by yourself, I can understand your frustration where it's like I wouldn't want to play either. Because when I first got Rust, and I got it like a week before these guys, like I didn't really like it. Like I knew I needed to play with friends, which is what I was waiting for, which is why I gifted it, right? Because I wanted friends to play with. But like single player wise, yeah, it's tough. It's a pain in the fucking ass, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, just I don't want to play again until they rebalance the spawns and the resource generation. Because I want to actually go out and fucking explore this environment. And I really can't because there's no point to doing it because there's no fucking resources out there.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't want to spawn into a game and get killed within 10 to 15 minutes just because I spawned in an area where resources are. I just start me off on the other fucking side of the map and let me explore and be able to survive out there.
They need to spread people out more, I think is what
they really do.
I think what they wanted to do is they wanted to spawn everyone in sort of the same area, and then they wanted to have these sort of no man's lands out there to explore. Here's the basic thing though, and I read this on their developer logs on their website, is that they never expected so many people to get into the game so quick. They never expected it to sell this much. They thought it would be kind of a slow. They would sort of like slowly let the gas in, and they would make it bigger as more people came in. They had no idea that servers with a max of like 200 people would hit 200 people overnight. Yeah, they did not know that. So. That's part. I think I what you're saying, Chris, is they didn't. Like, you go on the official servers, and there are fucking shacks everywhere. It's like holy shit. Like the one good thing about the server we're on right now is that it's not all that populated. I mean, well, it wasn't. Like when I first started, our server was like there'd be maybe 30 people on during like prime time. Now we're inching up to 70 and 80. But there's some servers where it's like there's 130 people on all the time, and there are just empty shacks and shacks everywhere, like on the road, on mountains, like everywhere. It's like holy shit, and and on those servers, there's almost no resources because as soon as something pops up, someone's grabbing it. And those servers are crazy. So
what's cool about those servers, Joseph, is the world is different when you play on those servers, right? Like, sure. How you play on those servers is different too.
Oh yeah.
So the game also changes. Like think about the potential of like later when the game like the opportunity of different worlds. Like people already have servers that are no player kill, so it's actually just a peace gathering world where like people help, and now they make castles, they make fucking shacks that sleep like hundreds of people because there's no killing in that world. So everyone just lives to build. Yeah, you know what I mean? And make things like Bob was saying. Once the resources are gone, if I build a wall and make a farm in Resource Valley, and I wall that whole section off and just protect that valley, like the great thing about that is that like it's like real world, just like Joseph was saying, like it's a simulation of like what we do. Like you collected you've sanctioned off this section of resources and you'll sell it off to people, right? And that's cool because then it does other cool shit like start job classes on a PV, whatever you call it.
Well, so Mitchie D from IGN was talking about on their server, there was a guy who was role playing a shopkeeper, and he was just crafting and making items and would sell it to players and barter and stuff.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's that kind of thing. So let's do. So we got to take a quick break. This is our midpoint. And when we come back, maybe we'll talk about a little more Rust, maybe something else. We got some news. I'm sure there's stuff going on. But stick around. You're watching Cocktail Time Live here at 4Player Network, 4pp.tv. And we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. Everybody, we are back. Cocktail Time Live here at 4PlayerNetwork.com. I just ran back here. I want to thank everybody who's watching us live right now over at 4pp.tv. All of our watchers, especially our subscribers. People like Reborn Revolution, people like J52, whose beautiful face we've just seen during the break. People like Biopower, MGS2 Master. If you do like what we do here at 4Player Network, we do ask that you think about subscribing. It is $4.99 a month through Twitch TV. And for that, you get no ads on our broadcast, no ads on our website. You get exclusive content like our dinner times and top fives, and you get pre-release content? You get stuff earlier? What is the technical name for that?
Early release?
Early release content, like our reviews and all that kind of good stuff. So we want to thank all our subscribers, but we love everyone who is watching us live every night on Friday and all that kind of good stuff. All right. We want to talk about Rust anymore, or is there anything else we want to go over?
No, I think I've said my piece.
Okay. What else have we been playing? What else has been going on?
Jeff and I both have been playing a bit of Broken Age.
I want to hear about Broken Age.
You do or don't?
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Let's see. I'm probably about 3/4 through. I finished one story. I'm on maybe about halfway to almost the ending of the second story.
Oh, I was going to ask how you've been playing it, because I've been bouncing back and forth.
No, I haven't been bouncing back and forth. I actually finished Vela's story first.
It's a good story.
It's a good story, and I've been enjoying the guy's story as well. I can't remember his name anymore.
Shay.
Shay's story. It's interesting because it's their stories are very different. They also have very similar kind of themes. It's not a very obtuse point and click adventure where you have like different verbs that you use. It's very kind of, you just click on stuff and just it automatically does whatever you really want there.
Yeah, it's very simple. Like, it's simplified. It's very simple.
Very streamlined.
Yes, your mom could play this adventure game.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, and the puzzles aren't very obtuse or anything like that. I mean,
No.
you still need to use whatever item you're trying to use with whatever object you're interacting with. And the puzzles aren't terribly difficult.
I love them, though.
Yeah,
I love them.
The voice acting and the comedy, I think, is spot on.
It's, you know what I love about it? It now, like, I follow Tim Schafer on like Twitter, and like he tweets a lot about his kids and stuff, and this feels like Tim Schafer making a game for his kids. And I love that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it made me like this game so much more. I realized how, like, lighthearted it was. I was like, wow, like, this is really kid safe, and it's still funny, and it's still, like, pretty, and, you know, and it so often reminds me of, like, Monkey Island, you know? So, you like point-and-click adventures, Joseph? Well, obviously, I've seen you play a bunch of them.
Well, that doesn't mean I like them. Let's be careful how we designate.
Phantasmagoria was a great series.
I love the Phantasmagoria games. The first one just because of the sheer silliness of it, and the second one because of Monique Parent with really short, punky hair. Just did it for me throughout the entire thing. So that's the only reason. And plus the main character Bob. Phantasmagoria 2, which was quite good. I enjoyed playing. I like those games. I like them in a way. You know, it's my love for point and click adventures is really based on nostalgia. I think a lot of it. Like, I grew up playing Tex Murphy, and the Police Quest games and that kind of stuff. Sure. So when I play those games, it's like, oh man, it's like I'm on my old PC and I'm 13 years old, or 12 or 13 years old, around that age. So I like it for that. But I will admit that they are some of the most cumbersome, sometimes idiotic games you can ever play.
Yeah, very. Just the solutions are like combined paperclip with piece of cheese, and then I'm going to put it on a piece of rope, and that's going to cause the rat to climb through this air duct. But he's going to do this one thing where he's going to chew the cables on the way back, which is going to short the security system, allow him to get through the door.
But you gotta hand it to them in one way, is that the people who made those games, they really had a handle for what choice was. You know, there's so much. Even if you do something wrong, sometimes things will happen. You know, and just being able to account for even failure and making stuff happen is something that really I love about those games, and something you don't see in modern games. Modern games, you know, you fail and it's game over and that's it. Or it's just a mission failed screen. And at least in those point and click adventures, if something didn't work, something at least funny would happen. There would be some result of what you did. Even if it ended up in failure, there was a result that you could see, which was kind of amusing. So that open-endedness, there was something really alluring about that, you know?
Yeah, so, like, I don't know if you've played, like, you know, Schaefer games or, like, Ron Gilbert adventure games or like, LucasArts stuff. Like, this is that, like, but now. Like, they did such a great job, like, of turning that, like, what you're saying, like, that wicked, cumbersome, like inventory management and trying to figure out stuff that is just like way over everybody's head. Like, they're so smart with it, and it's so much refined. Okay, like the first section, like the first puzzle, like Bob, like that first section, right, where a Shay story, where the cereal thing, right, where every day is this thing. That's the first section is like an introduction, and also it secretly hides the fact that it's a puzzle in itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's so brilliantly done, Joseph.
It was very well done. Because it's in Shay is the story behind Shay is that he's trapped on a spaceship, that his the AI is tending to his every need, and it's basically like it's a mother AI, and
he's mothering him to death.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. He's probably in like he's probably 18, 20. He's old, and this is still mother is treating him like he's 6.
Yeah.
And it's just the routine, like through the day, every day is the same fucking thing. Like there's a mission, you know, you need to go save these people from attack, and you go there, and you go into it's a kind of a different part of the ship, and there's one survivor of the attack, and he says, "Oh well, what was the attack?" He's like, "It's a hug attack!" And then all these little things come on, and they start hugging you.
I love that.
It's ridiculous.
I love it though.
Who's hugging
that
who?
Moment.
But who's hugging who? I don't get it.
Okay, so the little there's like stuffed animal creature things
I see. Okay.
that like they're your friends on this ship,
right?
You know, so they show up everywhere. Like there's like, what do you want to do today, honey? Well, there's an avalanche. There's people trapped in an avalanche, and then when you get there, it's an ice cream avalanche, and those cute puffy things are stuck in the ice cream, and they're like, oh no, how are you gonna get us out? You're gonna have to eat the ice cream. You know what I mean? And like it's so cute. Like that, I have a kid, you know what I mean? Like I have a stepdaughter, Lexi, and I instantly wanted to be like, I'm going to start a save with her. Like I want to tell her, like, sit down, we're going to watch something, you know, and just like have her choose. Like I'll read and have her choose and like see like just have her enjoy it in that sense, because I feel like it's so like palatable for kids too, you know, and that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. But super enjoyable. Like back and forth. Like when I get stuck or I get tired of the aesthetic for a second in Shay's story, I move over to what's her name, Bella. Yeah, I move over to Bella's story, and her story that really grabbed me, and I was like, oh man, like this is really good. Like this story, I love this story, you know. So it's cool. I like it a lot. I'm not sure. It's hard, Joseph, because I don't know if it's your kind of game. It might be too soft for you.
I don't know.
It might be like plushy. Are you into plushies? Can you have one and cuddle with it? Or is that not your thing?
I'm okay with plushies. I'm a man of many extremes.
I don't know. After what you were like linking in the hip chat the other day, I think I might try to fuck the
Listen, they were very well drawn.
Just into the actual use of plushies.
They were very well drawn. My Little Ponies getting fucked in the cowgirl position, and I don't, they were very colorful and jovial, like plushies. Maybe not like exactly like plushies, but I mean they were,
Well, you were linking this during subscriber night.
Right.
Nick was getting push updates on his phone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. That's part of why I was doing it. Does he always? So no matter where he is, will Nick get push updates on HipChat?
Yes.
Oh, really? So no matter what he's doing, I can just send him.
You should abuse this.
I'm thinking about abusing this. I need to pay attention more to Nick's life and figure out when he's doing things of importance, just so I can
ad update like at Nick.
Right? Yeah, and just send him crazy shit.
You did. Was it someone tweeted or talked about the balloon? I think it was the Inflation Man.
The Inflation Man, yeah. So it was Vunik or Victus or somebody, a chatter, a community guy.
It might have been Vunik.
Somebody sent me this thing about the Balloon Man. Let me see if I have the Balloon Man on my. I can show a picture of the Balloon Man.
It's not the Balloon Man. It's the Inflation Man.
Yes, the Inflation Man. Hold on.
They're two different people. There's one guy that's
the
really
Balloon Man is the guy. I love the Balloon Man. I love Bill Loon 42. I follow him on YouTube.
Oh shit, Sarah.
Believe me, I know who Bill Loon is. I don't have it anymore. I might have put it in downloads. Let me see. It might be in my downloads. Let me see. There's a lot of stuff.
Is this the Dark Garnet die? Dagnabbit?
I don't know what.
No. That's the balloon guy. This is the Inflation guy.
Let me find the Inflation guy. He's somewhere. God, there's a lot of stuff I can't show in my downloads. There's a lot of.
Yeah. Avoid.
I have it to the side. It's just away from the screen capture area. So right, it's like one wrong move and we're banned forever.
Oh Jesus!
One wrong move and we're banned forever. I don't even know what I would have named this. It would be easy to find. Look at little rat. That's fine. But no, I am all about abusing HipChat to send Nick crazy things during situations when he should not be getting them.
Like during any time, 9 to 5 Central during a weekday, that's appropriate to send it to him.
Right, while he's working, or if there's an interview happening, if he's got an interview for something.
Ooh, yeah.
Family occasions would be a good time.
Intimate times with the girlfriend.
Dude,
that'd be a very good time.
We can set that up.
I'm not seeing the guy. I'm not seeing where I saved it.
Do you want me to? I can link you the video. It's probably still
no. I screen capped it.
Oh, you screen capped him?
I screen capped him, and then I put him up. And I don't know where I would have put him. I just.
Oh no! I got the link right here.
No, I know, but I had this wonderful screen cap.
No, it's a screen cap. You linked in HipChat.
Oh yeah, you have that.
Yeah, right there.
Don't put it there. See, put it there. That's the wrong computer. It's on the wrong.
Sorry. Okay, let me. Fuck.
What the fuck?
There's too much behind the scenes here. Mr. Blow Up. That was it.
Mr. Blow Up.
Wait a second. Maybe that'll help me.
Yeah, J52's got it. Is this Mr. Blow Up?
That's Mr. Fingers.
Yeah, he's got it. That's Mr. Blow Up.
Yeah, maybe it's whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mr. Blow Up is a very special man.
God damn.
He sort of reminds me of Balloon 42. You guys know of my love for Balloon 42. He's the man, and I think he's in Minnesota or something, who has a balloon fetish, and he'll get balloons and he'll try to get inside of the balloons and he'll rub himself on the balloons, and he's got a wonderful way of speaking. It's almost like he's almost like an Asperger's serial killer type of thing. It's kind of an interesting sort of thing.
I cut off your nose and
oh, shucks. Well, I just took your face right off. Oh, god damn nabbit.
Oh, shucks. I was trying to skin you and nick the aorta. You're gonna bleed out.
Darn it.
Sorry, let me get some gauze.
Oh, darn it. Darn it! But of course, the most famous
Blast it.
That's the one he does. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's he goes, blast it. Like, who says that? You know, like villains in Bugs Bunny cartoons say that. That's it. But when he's like caught in a balloon and he's trying to get it out and he might suffocate, he's like, blast it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
He's narrating the entire time too. He's like, I'm blacking out slowly. It's
blast it.
Tunnel.
I've got to escape from this balloon.
Blast it.
Blast it. He's a perfect villain. Oh, Balloon should be a villain in a comic book. Balloon. Balloon.
Yes.
The mighty balloon. Blast it. You got away again. It reminds me of Cobra Commander almost. He should be in like Cobra. Retreat! Retreat! Blast it. He could have like a giant Cobra Zeppelin that goes over the battlefield. Be wonderful. Man. G.I. Joe was so good.
Yes, it was.
The old school G.I. Joe.
It was made entirely to sell toys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Do you know there was a G.I. Joe in the 80s, and he was skiing. He was always skiing. I don't know why. For some reason, he was always going down a mountain. But his
Blizzard?
name... No. His name was Snow Job.
Oh, yeah, Snow Job. Yeah, I remember Snow
Yes.
Job.
There was a G.I. Joe for little kids named Snow Job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was always on skis.
This reminds me of a story when I was a child. We had this big van, this big old van we used to do cross country trips with, and my family. I have 4 other siblings,
Right.
So it's 5 kids. A pretty big family. That's why we have a giant ass van. And we were riding in the van, and obviously there's a lot of times to contemplate. You just sit there waiting to get to Missouri or whatever. This is when I, lived out in Colorado, and we'd go do road trips across the country. And I'm sitting there looking at the vent, the air conditioner vent, and the air is being blown out and whatnot. And that's the age where I was probably around 4 or 5 years old, where you really kind of don't know how things work.
Right.
So I'm in my head, I'm thinking like, there's little, it's like, there's little people that are blowing the air through there, and they must have a job to blow the air.
How old were you when you thought this?
I was like 4.
Okay.
So then I go, so they have a blowjob. I was like, well, that sounds strangely familiar because I have an older brother who's like 4 or 5 years older than me.
So you heard
and then
blowjob.
I just out of the middle of fucking nowhere, I just kind of perk up and ask my parents, "What's a blowjob?" And I remember it being
and the van goes like off the road.
Exactly. Somewhere in Missouri, we just swerved off the road into cornfields.
That reminds me, when I was growing up, for a while, my Sicilian grandmother, we got into this health kick. I remember because my grandfather had heart disease, horrible heart disease. He had like 3 heart attacks. Ended up killing him in the end. But there was a time when he was like, "Oh, you got to get your cholesterol down, your heart, and stuff like that." So my grandmother got rid of all the butter in the house.
Was it butter or was it margarine? At the time, it might have been margarine.
No, she was getting butter, but she ended up getting this butter substitute margarine thing, I guess. Called Country Crock. Remember Country Crock?
Yeah.
And when I was a little kid, I, out of the blue, to be funny and being 6, started calling it Country Cock all the time. And I distinctly remember my parents going, "You shouldn't call it Country Cock because that means something else you don't want to say." And I'd be like, "What are we? Why are we getting Country Cock for dinner?" I want to have dinner, but I want to have the Country Cock too.
Oh man, margarine was the worst idea.
Yes, it was.
They were trying to cut down on the fats, but it's just margarine was nothing but saturated fats, and it clogged your fucking arteries like crazy.
It was almost worse.
It was worse.
It was worse. There was another story I was going to tell, and I can't remember it now. It was, you were talking about Snow Job and Blow Job, Country Cock. I don't know. It's out of my head. Maybe I'll think about it later. So,
I did have a friend in high school who was an exchange student, where he was ESL, where English was his second language.
Mm-hmm.
He was named Oat.
Oat? O-A-T?
Oat. I think O-A-T,
Oat.
yeah. That's how you
Okay.
spelled it.
All
And I remember one day he came up to me and my group of friends with this very concerned look on his face. And he looks at us and he's so confused. And he's, what is oatmeal?
It really bothered him.
It really bothered him.
Oh, you just don't worry about it. You'll find out eventually, boy.
What is oatmeal? I don't think we answered it. We just kept laughing. It's like, what is oatmeal? Oh, Jesus.
Yes, what is oatmeal?
It's like Soylent. Have you heard of Soylent Green?
Yeah. I remember what I was going to say. So, I don't know if it was really relevant, though. It was one of the... I don't know if it was really relevant. Oh, yeah, it's kind of relevant. So you were talking about things you believe when you were a little kid, right? And you thought there were people actually blowing the air out. Here's a funny story. I might have told this before, but I'm not sure. My grandfather was a jokester. He was kind of a joke. He was kind of like I'm a bit of a jokester. Like I'm nothing like I pale in comparison to the joking my grandfather did. Like in the 1950s, he would dress up for Halloween as who was the female singer who wore the big fruit in her hair?
She had a banana?
Carmen Miranda. Like he would one year he dresses drag as Carmen Miranda in the 50s. So it's kind of unheard of, you know? So he was one of those guys.
That's progressive.
He was very progressive, you know what I mean? But he was just a jokester. He was very funny and he liked just doing whatever. And I remember when I was really, really young, there was White Castles on the East Coast. Now, White Castle is amazing. If anyone has not ever been to White Castle and you are unfortunate enough to live all the way out in the West, you are missing out. Because White Castle is really good. They're little tiny hamburgers, and you order 9 of them, you know? And they're actually really, really good meat. I think they use good stuff, you know? But anyway, we went to White Castle once, and there were all these black people working there, or African Americans, whatever you like to say. And I was really young. I was I was maybe 8. And I go to my grandfather and I go, Grandpa, why are there all black people working here? And he goes, well, when the founder of White Castle died, he put in his will that only black people could work at White Castle because he wanted to make sure that minorities always had a job. And I went, oh, that's really nice of him. And I thought that till I was in my 20s.
Oh, God.
Because
Took that long?
because no one ever told me otherwise, and I didn't know. And I remember I was in college, and I was going, we were talking about White Castle. I'm like, yeah, well, the founder of White Castle, when he died, he put in his will that only black people could work at White Castle.
You're writing a dissertation?
Yeah, for my master's degree. And I'm like, and it has been written that the founder of White Castle wrote in his will that only black people could work at White Castle.
Jesus.
That's so fucking racist.
It wasn't really racist. It was just my grandfather was like, oh, wow, this kid's dumb and doesn't know any better. And here's my chance to play a joke on him. And I just thought that, I thought, wow, well, here's a founder who wanted to make sure that there was always a job for minorities somewhere or something. You know what I mean? I don't know, And so I was like, yeah, all right, great. Oh, sci-fi chick. That's so funny. So anyway, someone's like, no, I don't think that's true. And I'm like, I don't know. My grandfather told me. He knows about these things. And I ended up looking it up. And of course, it is not true.
No.
This is very
Not even remotely true.
Not even remotely true. Oh, my grandfather. He was something. All right. I got 20 more minutes. Any other games we want to talk about, or do we want to move on to news? Chris Davis, you have not really spoken about any games yet tonight.
Other than Rust.
Any you want to really talk about?
Really, I've just been keeping to my standard 3 games at this point. Just Payday and I guess Rust and the Civ 5. That's about it. That's all I'm really playing.
Same old.
But I will be starting to play a lot of Battlefield this coming month. So which is part of our news, which we need to talk about.
Okay, well, let us get into our news. Get it away, Mr. Chris Davis.
Okay, well, might as well start with Battlefield. So, as we all know, Battlefield has been a little bit more than just fucked up. Mm-hmm. And DICE has been doing their best to actually, update it and make it better. Well, for the month of February, they're really apologizing to people because they're going pretty far in actually making it up to people. So, right. This past week, in fact, I think it was yesterday, all platforms that Battlefield 4 is on received a game balancing patch update that fixed a bunch of the weapons and balanced a bunch of the vehicles.
No, this patch is also, I don't know if it's part of your story, caused a lot of new problems for PC players.
Yeah, and they are working into that, but hey, at least they're listening to us. And as far as balancing goes,
I've noticed on the PS4 that certain things are better, certain things are not. So, for instance, on the PS4, on certain maps like Lansing Dam and Parasol Storm, I would do this, and I think I've spoken about this before, this jittering thing, where I'd kind of go 3 step forward and 1 step back, like every 10 seconds or so, and that seems to be 90% cleared up. And
rubber banding, they've pretty much fixed.
And I find that when I'm running smooth, I'm running a lot smoother. I'm still getting, when I'm at the end of a map, and I'm looking at all the action, I'm still losing about half my frames. I'm still going from about 60 to 30, if not a little bit less, which is really unfortunate. I wish they would optimize for that because it's really just disconcerting. But I'm finding that there's something else they did. And I've been looking on the forums, and people are trying to kind of figure it out. And the game just sort of, in certain times, looks better and feels better. There's something with the way the graphics have been rendered, and there's something with the way the input has been. Like I almost feel like they reduced input lag. And I was playing a bunch of Flood Zone tonight before the show, and I just felt like my control was really dead on. Like I really had a lot more precise control over my character.
They've improved the netcode for the game, so that probably accounts for your control scheme.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, I just felt like I was just really on top of it. In fact, I've been slowly, incrementally raising my sensitivity on my sticks, so I can get to the point where I can do a 180. I'm not up there yet, but I'm at 40% right now. And I popped it up another 45, another 5 points to 45, just because my control was so much better, it seemed.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what they're doing a bunch of things. First off, they're giving away a battle pack every day of February.
Is in February every day? You have to log in. You have to log in though.
You have to log in, and you have to But you get a bronze battle pack for every weekday, and then a silver battle pack on the weekend.
You know what else? You know why that is? You know why you have to log in to get it? Because they're testing their servers. They want as many. No, they're
that's probably a good portion of it.
Yeah, because they can make it so they just build up in your account. They're doing that because they want to slam their servers to really put them through the ringer to see what they can do and what they need to fix.
Yeah, that's good. They're also doing double XP weekends. They're doing a standard double XP weekend for all players. Mm-hmm. But if you're a premium member, you get an additional double XP weekend. Mm-hmm. So potentially you get 3 double XP weekends in February if you're premium.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. They're adding shortcut bundles for people. So
I'm not happy about that.
So what?
Not happy about that.
Really?
You know what it is? Part of the fun of Battlefield is unlocking shit. And if you take away that ability, you're kind of pulling all the sap out of the tree at that point.
Well, they say they're voluntary; they're not mandatory.
I know, but I mean, how can you resist that succulent, sweet, nubile goodie right in front of you? The problem is, that a lot of these weapons, these like the later tier shotguns and whatnot. Since people haven't been able to unlock them because it takes a while to do it, a lot of them are horribly unbalanced. horribly unbalanced. Like, there are some shotguns that can one-shot you from, 50, 60 feet away. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they need, all this is doing is just pouring a bunch of unbalanced weapons into the game.
Well, the thing is, though, I believe when I was reading the patch notes earlier this week for the weapon balances, they specifically addressed the DMRs and the shotguns.
Okay, because, today and yesterday, I was getting one-shotted by Psycha 18, whatever the fuck they're called, from pretty far away, and I was like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, it's ridiculous.
Those also could have been, they could have been slugs.
Yeah,
because I've killed people from 100 yards off with a shotgun using slugs.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was it. I have to look.
Do they do like a bullet drop or anything?
Oh, yeah, there's bullet drop. There's
bullet drop.
Jesus Christ! You hit someone with a slug from 100 yards?
Yeah. I was on Caspian border.
That thing should drop way faster than that, dude.
Well, yeah, I was calculating lead time and angle drop.
Oh, so you were
shot.
But still, like, even with lead time, and if you arced that shit, that still shouldn't do 100 points of damage. I mean, that should not one-shot somebody.
The guy was also pretty weak. He just got out of a firefight. But
okay. He had like 2 health. Okay. So now the whole story comes out. It went from like Chris's Rambo to like, well, he had both legs.
Knocked a guy with a shotgun.
I hit it
yards away.
Now you're like in Rust hitting a sleeping guy with a rock.
Yeah, but the point is that I did it and it was hilarious.
All right, I'll give you that.
They're doing shortcut bundles. Everybody gets the grenade and handguns.
Okay,
but the premium users get DMRs and shotguns.
Okay.
So you get that a little bit of balance towards premium there. And it doesn't take long to get fucking grenades anyway.
No, I maxed out my grenades really fast.
Yeah.
So.
God, especially on lockers.
Oh, if you put minis on locker, man, you fucking just destroy people.
The impact is pretty good too.
Impact is good.
That's what I like
too. Go ahead. I have to use the restroom real fast. You guys keep on going. I'll be right back.
He's just abandoning us.
What's up?
News. What else is in the news, Chris?
The Ouya came out. The Ouya today? They came out with the new
the Ouya 2.
Yeah, the Ouya 2. There's a 130 version that has 16 gigabytes on the hard drive, and I think they're just upping the RAM in general for both of for the 100 model and the 130 model.
I don't think they're upgrading the RAM. I thought I read they were upgrading the storage capacity.
RAM. I'm not too sure. I could be entirely.
See, that's the problem. When you say memory, are you meaning storage capacity or are you meaning fucking RAM? And I think it's storage capacity.
It's 16 gig storage. I know that much. But I thought they were also upgrading the RAM on. But I may be wrong.
And that's not going to help the product, especially when you're making it cost $30 more.
Let's be fair. Like, nobody's like, I have an Ouya. I bought it because it was cheap. I could use it as an emulator box for like my bedroom. It's easy to move around the house, and I saw potential to just fuck around with this thing. I didn't intend to really give a shit about the games that are on it, and I never turned the thing on. The people that have an Ouya, like, they're either only tuned into that or, like, it's a very small community. And to be fair, like, it's getting better, and there's actually, like, some cool games on there, but it's nothing that the mass market gives a shit about because it's all, a lot of it's on phones, some of it.
Real quick, so how is the Ouya, like, not getting sued by popularizing emulator stuff like that?
Well,
it's just it's just a tool.
Yeah, they don't necessarily they don't sell it. They don't. It's like trying to sue like Razer for torrenting.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, I found the picture of Mr. Blow Up, guys.
Oh no.
Yeah, so here's the.
I sent you the picture like 40 minutes ago.
There's the wonder. I don't know, but it's on. Here it is. It's a wonderful picture of Mr. Blow Up, isn't he? He's beautiful. He's gorgeous. I wanna just frolic around the daisies with Mr. Blow Up. You know? Just a giant field where we can be together forever and build a little shack like in Rust. And
he could roll down the hills with no injury to himself.
He could bounce, yeah. He could bounce.
You can. I wonder, like, if that's part of a fantasy is for himself to be a beach ball.
I think that's what it is. He wants to be. He wants to be like a beach volleyball, or like at a concert where people are like bouncing the ball all over the place. Mm-hmm. He wants to be one of those people. But the ball gets heavier and heavier because it fills up with more and more of his cum as he's getting bounced around. You know.
Well, it's ultimately
like the worst
he wants to be part of the Olympics.
Yes.
Specifically, the Olympics beach volleyball tournament.
I think
he wants to be the ball.
From now on tonight, whenever Jeff speaks, he's going to be Mr. Blow Up. So I'm going to have just Mr. Blow Up come up whenever Jeff says anything.
Look at me. I blow things up.
See,
does it come up?
Is that his actual name?
God. Oh, my God.
It's a bit of a delay, but you finally saw him.
Is his name actually Mr. Blow Up?
That's what they call him on YouTube.
That's
See, I hear Mr. Blow Up and I immediately flash back to my childhood. You remember the little like 3 to 4 year old kids game Mr. Bucket?
Oh, I remember Mr. Bucket. Yes, of course.
See, I hear Mr. Blow Up and I just immediately insert his name into the lyrics for that fucking commercial.
I don't remember the commercial, but I remember Mr. Bucket.
It's pretty.
Mr. Bucket, balls come out of my mouth.
No,
yeah.
that was it. All right, any more news?
Oh yeah, we got plenty. So, once again, within the realm of people desperately trying to convince the world that Source 2 and Half-Life 3 exist, famous neo-gaffer Crazy Buttocks on a Train, otherwise known as Seaboat, posted a few images from a PowerPoint presentation showing off the plantation level from Left 4 Dead 2 remade in Source 2. And it is goddamn pretty.
So I did hear about this, that possibly they were thinking about re-releasing either a new Left 4 Dead or re-releasing Left 4 Dead on Source.
Well,
which it would be really interesting.
Left 4 Dead 2 a la re-release like they did with TF2.
Like,
where they have
like a
hats.
free
with hats.
Free with hats.
Yeah.
If they were going to release Left 4 Dead on Source 2, they'd have to do it for... I can see Valve doing that as a free download. If you've already purchased it.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, I don't. I think that Source 2, I think hats are over. I think come the next engine, it's going to be belts.
Belts?
It's going to be belts.
Belts?
Because you're a fucking Texan, that's why.
Yeah, you want big belt buckles.
No, I actually own only one belt, thank you very much.
But how many belt buckles do you got?
It's a standard fucking buckle.
But
it's not one that's the size of
but in Texas, a standard buckle is the size of a fucking pancake.
No, you got to measure it in steaks.
Yeah, in steaks. My buckle's 3 steaks big.
I got an 8-ounce belt buckle.
8-ounce belt buckle.
It looks even funnier when it's Mr. fucking Blow Up Bubbles, whatever the fuck that dude's name is.
Mr. Bubbles.
So yeah, there's more proof that Source 2 exists, and that from that we're going to get Left 4 Dead 3 and Half-Life 3.
Oh yeah,
sure it exists.
Right there. Sure, we get it. We get it.
It exists. Don't mock me.
I think it's gonna.
The structure of Valve, it's kind of there. It's really difficult to kind of have hard deadlines on things when the employment structure and the everybody can work on what they want to at any point in time.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's encouraged to do that. I mean, everybody's desk at Valve has wheels on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
So if you want to go work with a different team, just wheel your desk into the elevator and take it up.
You got to unplug
It's really difficult when you're trying to launch a fucking game, though.
You got to unplug your computer first. It gets messy.
Laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Or laptop. Oh yeah, man, laptop. No, but I know it's kind of weird. I wonder. Basically, the reason Valve is able to work that way is because they're so successful. If they weren't as successful as they were, that wouldn't work.
More importantly, is there one fucking guy that you see coming out of the fucking elevator hallway with his desk, and you're like, oh fuck. Don't tell me this guy's going to move his desk, Norm. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's coming. Don't look at him. Don't look. No eye contact. Oh, fuck. He's right next to me. Jesus Christ.
You know
he wants to work on what we're working on. Oh, Jesus.
Because even though it's...
Deal with Bill for another fucking 3 weeks until he loses his shit and leaves.
Because even though it's Valve, it's still a company, and there's always that shit in the company, you know. Although they did just, recently fire a bunch of people. So...
Did they?
Oh, yeah. Not recently, but...
They laid off a bunch of people who were working on, the early Steambox stuff.
Six or 7 months ago.
I assume back at a time in which they actually wanted to make the hardware.
Yeah.
Well, all they're doing now is licensing out the name Steambox to third parties, which is the best way to go about it, honestly. It's brilliant by their they won't lose any money that way. So, well, we'll see. Sources need an update for quite a while, and it's about time that, Valve puts out another game. I mean, Portal 2 came out last year. I loved it, of
Dota
course.
2 officially released last year.
Dota 2, I forgot about Dota 2.
It's been about a year, yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. Valve doesn't need to make any more games at this point.
No, they don't. They just need to maintain the Steam service.
There's no pressure for them to make a game. So... brilliant strategy in terms of business. Maybe not great for gamers, but whatever.
Yeah. Make great games.
Yeah.
It's got to be great to have that freedom, though. They could just live off Steam, forever, and just to have that. I think that's what that's what brings about Valve's brilliance for games like Portal 2 and whatnot. Is their ability not to feel that pressure. They can just experiment and do whatever they want. And you know what? If Portal 3 doesn't do as well as they thought it did, who gives a shit? We have Steam. We're making tons of money. It doesn't matter. It's like Epic Games. Epic Games does not need to make games.
Portal 2 was 2011.
Epic Games does not need to make games. They can just sell Unreal Engine all day long. That's all they need to do. Which means that when they make a game, they can take their time, they can experiment, they don't have to worry about sales as much as other companies do. I mean, they do have to worry, but it's not, it's not going to break their company. It's not going to bankrupt them if they take a chance and it doesn't work out so good. Because they have something to fall back on.
If you look at the trend of what they released, they've been releasing at least one game per year.
Is this Valve?
Valve.
Yeah, and that's pretty good for them. I mean, they don't need to even do that much, honestly. So
it looks like the Portal 2 was 2011.
Okay, so we're 2 years out now.
Counter-Strike Global Offense was 2012.
I think that was mostly done by a third party, though.
Probably.
I don't think that was done by Valve. I mean, it was...
Dota 2 was last year.
Okay, so they put out Dota 2, which I'm sure is probably making a shitload of money as well.
Probably.
Oh God!
I think Gabe Newell's a billionaire at this point. Not exactly sure what his net worth is, but it's up there.
Yeah, it's probably fucking way up there. I mean, he's kind of like the Steve Jobs of video games.
Yeah, no, he is. So.
Yeah.
He's great.
See, they'll have to at least announce something this year.
Oh yeah, they'll announce something. Yeah. I think we'll hear about Source 2, but we may not get an official game announcement.
Right.
And if it is an announcement, it's gonna be Left 4 Dead 3.
Oh God, I don't need any more Left 4 Deads. I don't need more fucking zombies. Oh my God.
I really want them. What we need, Bob? We need a zombie level in Tetropolis. What do you think?
No.
A zombie level? No,
I veto.
You vetoing that? You are okay. You are the CEO, so we have to go with that. Sorry, tried everybody.
Go fucking move your desk somewhere else.
I have to move my desk. Hey, Jeff, I'm going to move my desk over to you. Bob doesn't like me anymore.
No, just every 2 inches away from the wall every time I disagree with you.
All right. So there's a rumor going around that the PS4, in addition to PlayStation Now's functionality,
right,
is going to be receiving PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 emulation software.
I heard about this. So the really weird thing about this is that part of this rumor is that possibly, I don't know, it's all rumor, all conjecture, but that because of that, the PS1 and PS2 libraries won't be available via PlayStation Now.
And that would make sense to me.
You know what? Yeah. I want them available PlayStation Now, though. I mean,
I agree with that.
I kind of want both. I kind of, you know what? Fuck it. As long as I can buy them and I can play them, I'm fine with that. I just basically want the library that's on PSN for the PS3 on the PS4. And if that can happen, then I'm totally fine with that. I have a shitload of PS1 games and a lot of PS2 games, and if I can play those on my PS4, wonderful. And
it really depends on the licensing, though. Like, it's because they're licensed currently. The ones on the PS3 are licensed to be distributed on the PS3. Then they have to go track down everybody they get a license from, if it didn't change hands since then, and then get it re-signed for the PS4.
I don't know if
that's the thing, though. In their selection of games, they're pretty fucking conservative. They have a long list, but it's all titles that either were PlayStation exclusive or were just really easy to work with publishers. So I don't know. I don't think it'd be all that hard for them.
Now, you're talking about downloads, or can I take like my copy of King's Quest and throw it into my PS4?
Like you can take your copy and plug it in.
Well, I can play King's Quest on my PS3. Can I just, put my copy of King's Quest into my PS4 and play it?
That's what the emulation rumor is suggesting.
Really? Like you can put the fucking discs in?
Yeah.
No, it's a software emulation.
That's a software emulation.
The most games I have for any console are PS2.
You can do that with the PS3 right now. No, you can't. No, you're right. You can't.
Oh, I can't because I don't have it. No. I have the slim version.
Right. So
the new slim version.
Right. So you can play PS1 games, but not PS2 games. And they're saying that on the PS4, you'll be able to do PS1 games and PS2 games, but not PS3 games. And PS3 games will be able to be streamed through PlayStation Now. You get
That's a good fucking deal, because there was a lot of really good games for PS2 that I have up here.
Oh, you fucking kidding me? The PlayStation 2 is arguably the best console ever made.
Yeah.
So
and weren't they planning on doing already upscaling the resolution and everything?
Well, it's going to be the resolution's already upscaled on the PS3, but the upscaling is going to be even better on the PS4. Right? Is that part of your story, Chris?
The source additionally claims that Sony is working to ensure that backwards compatibility games are optimized for native HD resolutions, eliminating the blurred upscaling seen in emulated releases on the PlayStation 3.
So even better.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
This is just selling me on the PS4 even more.
You know what that means? That means I can broadcast PS2 games. You know what that means?
Way Back Wednesday.
Fucking Way Back Wednesday coming back, baby. That's right.
Yeah, people want Way Back Wednesday back, man.
It means Way Back Wednesday coming back hardcore. I'm gonna play some fucking Colony Wars on this shit. Fucking G-Police shit.
Sounds good.
Motherfucking King's Quest 2, bitch. Dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude. All right, I got two more for you.
Yeah.
This is something Jeff can jump in on, which I think he's excited for. Killer Instinct received its first piece of DLC today.
It is today?
Yes, it was today. It's Spinal, a character from the original series. And god damn it, I want to play as him so much right now. He is badass.
I haven't even booted it up. I heard that it was coming with another update because they're apparently gonna. If anybody watched my streams, you saw a bunch of times that people would bitch out on the second round of a fight when I start fucking them up, and they would just quit out of the game.
Yeah.
Previously, there was no penalty for that. Now there's going to be a disconnect. Once you reach a certain level of disconnect percentage, you get put in a jail where you only connect with people that also have that kind of disconnect percentage.
So the rules for this new jail system are actually pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So the first time you disconnect, your disconnect percentage goes above 15% for your overall matches, you're sent to the jail. Now, it requires you to have played at least 10 matches online, and each offense of going to jail lasts 24 hours. So the more times you're put into jail, the longer your sentence is stretched, up to a cap of 5 days, 120 hours.
Yeah.
In addition, when you're put in jail, you can still play online, but you can only play against other people who are in jail.
So I think Grand Theft Auto Online
it's a very similar
is
system.
actually doing something very similar to that. I don't remember this character Vinyl. I don't remember Vinyl.
Spinal.
Oh, Spinal.
That's the skeleton, right?
Yeah, he's a skeleton.
I thought you said Vinyl. Like I was thinking some guy like made of records.
No. So I like that they're doing that, and I hope they continue to like. I like the game, you know, and I hope they continue to. I know they're going to bring the other characters, but I hope they continue to like do the right moves to make it more of a like a Evo type of game. It's really different for a fighting game. Like I still enjoy like Street Fighter better, you know, more than Killer Instinct, but I do like Killer Instinct because the combos are easy to like to like improvise on. Yeah, they're easy to improvise like on the fly because the combo system is kind of just systematic, you know. But the thing about that is there's a potential when you're good. There's a lot of potential for like combo breakers, and that's where the game gets technical, you know. Instead of like Street Fighter, it's a lot of reading frames and shit like that. You know, it's a lot of like inner knowledge of how the game works before you can really like compete on a better level. But it's good to see that they're doing something like that. I didn't notice it. I thought it was coming at a later date. That's why. But I'll check.
Yeah. But they, from what I understand, I mean, Killer Instinct has been very, very successful. In fact, from what I understand, it's one of the most popular games in the fighting game community. So much so that it may end up at EVO next year.
I hope so. I'd like to just see. I'd like to see, like, you know, like even like the Wong and like some of those guys, like just fuck with it and see what they think about the game too. You know, it's interesting. I like it. I like the game a lot.
Yeah. And that there's in the release trailer for Spinal, they show off Fulgore's entrance, and he looks like a badass motherfucker.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I never was like big on Killer Instinct for the SNES.
Oh, I never played Killer Instinct back in the day. This Killer Instinct
really?
was my first experience with the series.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So. And when Fulgore launches in March, that's also going to be accompanied by the story mode and player lobbies. So
yeah, $20, man. Like that's
worth it. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's cheap. That's a really good entry for a fighting game. You know what I mean? Like that's the one shining thing I constantly play on my Xbox One. Recently, I haven't played anything on any of the new consoles because I think everybody's been playing Dark Souls, right? But like, so yeah, that's cool. I hope they, you know, continue to take care of it. I'm not sure like how well it's doing actually, Chris. So it's good to know that, like, you know, that people are actually enjoying the game.
Yeah, they're going all out in this style. I think we're really gonna be surprised what season 2 brings us later this year.
Yeah. Look at this fucking Joseph, man. That picture, dude. Look at me.
I mean, he just looks like a retarded Japanese superhero.
You've been causing chat to lose their shit for like the last 5 minutes.
I'm seriously losing my shit too.
Oh, I'm big and I'm black. Oh God.
All right, more news.
All right. Well, I get two things we can go over real quick. Are we stressed for time?
No, go for it. It's fine.
Okay. In addition to, well, I guess I actually covered it in my toast, but Payday 2 also released new DLC. It's called the Gauge Weapon Pack 2. It adds 3 new weapons, light machine guns, actually, as well as knives for the first time. So it completely changes the way the melee system works for the game. In fact, they worked it to where it's no longer just press a button to hit somebody with the butt of a rifle. You actually can hold down the button and charge for a stronger attack.
Oh wow!
And they also added a brand new enemy called I believe it's called the Stalker or the Stinker. He will come out of nowhere. He'll come out of vents in different places, and he's mainly melee oriented. So
I come out of vents too,
and he looks like a ripoff of like Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. So
okay.
Yeah.
How much is this DLC? How much does DLC cost?
$5.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, and actually, that enemy is a free update to everybody in Payday 2. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
And all right, last thing I've got here.
Last thing.
Okay, it's supposedly a leak. Some places are confirming this is real. Some places can't verify it. But supposedly, somebody inside Microsoft grabbed a bunch of pieces of information and just dropped them on NeoGAF the other day.
Okay, what do we got?
So, turns out we will get a Halo game this year, but it's going to be Halo 2, the HD Anniversary Edition.
Okay.
It's going to be 1080p. They don't know if it's going to be 60 frames, but it's going to include beta access for Halo 5. Halo 5 is not coming out this year.
Okay.
They're stressing that Fable Legends will come out next year. It's not due for this year. The Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, by the way, is being contracted out to Saber Interactive and Certain Affinity, the guys who did the Halo 1 Anniversary.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah. And they've also confirmed Crackdown 3 is in the works at an undisclosed
Crackdown 3? Holy shit!
But that's not due for release until 2016.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but wow, like, Crackdown 3, that is not a game. Listen, if you ask me what game I least expected ever to come back with another sequel, like Crackdown is pretty down there.
See, people this past week were actually thinking that we were going to get a Crackdown 3 announcement this week because Ruffian Games, the developer behind Crackdown 2, was set to reveal a new game this week, but it turned out to be something completely different. It's part of Square Enix's collective crowdfunding venture. So people don't know who's developing it, but they know it's in development.
Oh, so the first Crackdown was awesome. Crackdown 2 was just kind of shitty and the same as Crackdown, but I mean, a proper Crackdown, like a proper Crackdown sequel would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
So it also, Scrawny Flannel Man chat was saying that the cloaker from the original Payday 1 is going to make a comeback in Payday 2.
I think that's... Oh, the cloaker, really?
Cloaker, yeah. I don't know if that's a rumor or if that's confirmed.
I do not know. Of course, the cloaker may actually be the guy who just got launched into the game, so...
Possibly. I guess it could be. Could be. Yeah. Let me just Google the cloaker Payday 2.
Hang on. I can pull it up.
Oh, the wiki has him already on there.
Oh.
Payday 2 wiki does.
Yeah, because he's sort of in the source code, but he wasn't confirmed. Oh, yeah, it is the cloaker. According to the Gauge Weapon Pack, it's called the cloaker. Oh, and by the way, they add 4 new masks for Payday 2. One of them is literally Rambo.
Oh, really?
Taken from like Rambo 3. He's called the hang on. He's the troubled war veteran.
The Troubled War Veteran?
Yeah.
That sounds weird. That sounds not PC.
And there's another one. I shit you not. It's the Mask of Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe.
Oh, all right. They've got a sale with that one.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna paste it into chat real quick.
Yeah,
Just scroll down to the bottom and you'll see it.
So people can see that.
Oh, but yeah, I love this game, man. But anyway,
nice.
a few more things that are coming from this leak. So Forza Horizon is coming probably in September, and it's going to be like a whole generation better than the most recent Forza game, the one that launched with the Xbox One. I'm talking like a really nice weather system, tons of co-op and social stuff coming. So, Quantum Break is due holiday 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Multiplayer has been confirmed for Halo Anniversary 2. So you'll be able to play Halo 2 multiplayer online again.
Okay. And that's coming to the PS4, right?
No, not at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah, sucks to be you. Sunset Overdrive is due fall 2014.
Okay. Which we know nothing about besides a trailer.
Yeah. It looks. I really don't know what to make of that game.
No,
You
we'll
know,
see.
that trailer looks great, but what the fuck is that game? So,
Yeah, we'll find out as time goes.
yeah. So Black Tusk, who this week we learned was going to be taking over the Gears of War franchise.
Yes.
They were actually the trailer we were shown last E3 was actually for a game that was in development that's now canceled. That was supposedly called Shangheist. Involves stealing stuff from the Japanese or Chinese. So I have no idea.
Right.
Like I said, Fable Legends is due summer 2015. Gears of War is going to require at least a 2.5 year development time, so 2016, probably 2017 before we hear anything about that.
All these good games, but so far away.
Yeah. The first bit of downloadable content for Titanfall will arrive within 45 days from the game's release, and then another 120 days after the release.
And Titanfall beta on Valentine's Day, February 14th, right?
Way to fuck over all the guys with girlfriends.
Hey, that's not a lot of gamers, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to be doing that evening, and it's going to involve definitely my hands.
I'm going to be inserting myself into a nice mech that night.
Yeah.
Oh no, but you're not, because you don't have an Xbox One.
Hey, bitch, PC.
That is true. The beta is for Xbox One and PC.
And PC.
So.
I'll be doing it on PC.
Get some lotion going. You cannot be too smooth. You need to moisturize.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's too much moisturizing, you can make sure you have some tissues nearby.
That's for after the moisturizer.
You need to clean up.
Anything else in news?
The last thing out of this rumor box is that there's going to be a new version of the Xbox One coming out, possibly without an optical disc drive, for $400.
So this is basically going to be their arcade.
Yes.
Okay. So no disc drive. Everything's going to be, you're going to only download.
Yes.
And you'll be limited on hard drive space, basically.
Probably.
But it's still $400.
So it's the same price as a PlayStation 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Which might be interesting. I'm not saying it's necessarily a good idea.
I don't know. They just need to make the Xbox One $400.
They do.
Just
and
make it $400.
This might be the measure that'll get it to that.
I mean, are we going to talk about the commercial Xbox One put out this week, where they're offering a rebate? So if you bring in your PlayStation 3 to an Xbox retailer, like an Xbox store, a Microsoft store, they'll recycle your PS3 and then give you a $100 rebate on a Xbox One. But that doesn't make much sense, because you can just keep your PS3 and save $100 and buy a PS4.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is just a marketing stunt.
I know. It's just silliness. It's just silliness. It's all just a bunch of silliness, and I'm tired of it. Seriously.
Well,
Serious.
Super serious.
Super serious.
There was that big ass EVE Online battle that happened where $330,000 worth of losses occurred.
It was actually $300,000 of losses.
It was between 300 and 330.
The
estimate was.
The battle was 2,000 people, roughly 2,200 people, roughly, and it was over an unpaid bill.
Yep.
yeah.
It was over.
Somebody
an unpaid bill.
had forgotten to pay a bill for owning a certain system or controlling it. Mm-hmm. And so when that lapsed, this another clan decided to jump in and try to take control of it.
And then every clan jumped in, and then every alliance jumped in. Everyone just basically jumped into this battle. Mm-hmm. And like 8 Titans were lost, and it was insane.
Yeah, evidently it was such a massive battle that they had to turn on time dilation on it.
Right.
So everything was running at what, 1/10 speed?
Something like that, yeah. It was too much for the servers to handle. Basically, what this amounts to is that reading about what happens in EVE is a lot more fun than actually playing what happens in EVE.
Exactly.
You know, and it's that emergent content that we were talking about with Rust. But on a huge, gigantic scale. It's almost as if, you know, we actually made that fortress around a small or big rad town, and then we had 1,000 people, and then 1,000 people on the server attacked us to try to take that back.
Well, it's like we were there, we had a fortress, and then all of a sudden, like, we didn't log in for maybe a couple of days, and then parts of the wall started to decay.
Right.
And then they came in and took it over, and then we're trying to take it back.
Right, and then all of our alliances came together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huge.
Giant battle. I'm sure we'll ever see that in Rust, because it's not nearly as good. But
No.
I mean,
There's no spaceships and there's 200.
I mean, good as in like able to handle that many players and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else? Any other news?
That's pretty much it, unfortunately.
All right. Well, let us move on to our final thoughts of the evening. This is our Cocktail Time Chaser, our final thoughts of the evening, and I will go first. My thought of evening is almost half a toast of the night and a final thought of the night. Basically, my final thought is a toast and a good luck to Bob, who today gave up the shackles of a 9-to-5 day job to enter the world of indie video game development. May God have mercy on his soul. But when I say that, I'm actually a big part of this, so I have to step up. Bob's livelihood, his ability to pay rent and not be homeless, is partly in my hands. So I have like a dude.
Partly in my hands.
It's like you know, Bob's life is in my hands. So what I'm saying
So
is,
he's fucked.
what I'm saying is, Bob, I think you should get. I think I need a blowjob. Is what I'm saying. I'd probably model. I'd model and texture much faster with your luscious lips around my erect cock. Is what I'm saying. No, but good luck to Bob, and good luck to Next Gen Pants. It's going to be a very, very exciting year, and it's one of those things where when you believe in something and you want to, you have a dream, you just have to kind of go for it. And you know, Bob's kind of an inspiration for that. Also, having lots of savings helps to do that sort of thing.
That does help.
That does help. All right, Chris Davis.
My final thought this evening is similar to our discussion earlier about Rust, where I'm kind of fucking tired of the game until at least several patches from now. Mainly because I incurred an injury because of that game. I evidently aggravated a nerve in my elbow, my ulnar nerve, and now, ever since Saturday night, my left pinky finger and my left ring finger have been kind of fucked up.
It's all that chopping wood with a rock. It's chopping wood with a rock.
Yeah, it came from that. So I want. This is the first time I've ever been injured by a video game, and so I like to put out a sincere fuck you to Rust for this.
All right, there you go. And Jeff, why don't you give us your final thoughts?
I want to just praise inflatable balloons and inflate them while they're on my face and head and maybe in my ass. I like having inflatable balloons in my ass and inflated while in my ass. It feels wonderful. In all seriousness, though, yeah, I'm super excited that Bob's finally taking the steps to legitimize himself as an indie dev, and I want to do everything I possibly can to make sure that works out for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. You feel the same way, Joseph. I know how you work. So yeah, good luck to Bob.
Good luck
to
Bob.
us.
Good luck to us. And Bob.
So I guess my chance would be to the wonderful people at Next Gen Pants.
Oh.
It's been 8 years since I started my job, and I've stayed at the same job for almost 8.5 years. 8 years and 4 months. And that is a crazy feeling when you finally the end of the road for something you've been doing for so long in order to take a gamble on something that you wanted to do your entire life.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy experience, and I just hope that the next year or two is worth it.
Oh, it'll be worth it.
It's all on you guys, you bastards.
I promise you, I'm gonna have the suit jammas to prove it. I swear to God.
Oh, you better bring those suit jammas.
I will bring the suit jammas. All right, everybody, thanks for coming out tonight to Cocktail Time Live here at 4Player Network. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Jeff. We really appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out and watching us live here at 4pp.tv. Definitely check us out next week, next Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific. We will be doing this again. And definitely make sure you check out the main website at 4playernetwork.com. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Love you all. And have a great fucking weekend.